Jack Black, the popular versatile comic star, had a troubled childhood, involving a stint with his parents at a nudist camp and a drug problem. But in his late teens, he became passionate about acting, dropping out of college to join the Actors Gang, a talented local theater troupe co-founded by Tim Robbins. Through the Actors Gang, Jack met a guitar-playing stoner named Kyle Gass in 1989. They were both working on The Big Show, an Actors Gang production. But Kyle felt threatened by Jack's talent, and the two got off to a rocky start.
What Jack said is that when he first met Kyle, Kyle was as cold as ice to him. It took a few years later, a couple of unfortunate circumstances for the two of them. Jack got dumped by his girlfriend. Through Jack's pain and Kyle's exile from the Actors Gang and their own kind of hardship, they came together with pot.
As Jack and Kyle bonded over marijuana and suffering, they became close friends.
When they were together, they just realized that that they're basically the same type of person and they like the same music. So it's kind of a match made in heaven.
The two actors also shared similar tastes in rock and metal music. In his early 20s, Jack started playing guitar.
Kyle taught Jack how to play guitar, and if you look at Jack now, you'd never know he's an amazing guitar player. And Kyle Gass, his partner, his musical partner, is amazing as well.
Jack and Kyle started writing songs together and formed a band. It would be like no other, a comical acoustic guitar rock duo whose lyrics were heavily influenced by marijuana use. They premiered their band in 1994 at Al's Bar in Los Angeles. The group's performance was unique because its members looked nothing like rock stars, yet flaunted themselves as such.
Not only do they not look like rock stars, but they don't dress like rock stars. Their performances are usually done in t-shirts and shorts, maybe Birkenstocks, sneakers. At the same time, part of their act is about how great they are at rock.
To come up with the band's name, Jack and Kyle let the audience at one of their first gigs vote to choose from a number of options. One of them was inspired by NBA play-by-play commentator Marv Albert.
He used to say tenacious defense all the time. Someone's intense style of play, which is exactly what Tenacious D is.
The newly named Tenacious D became regulars at local LA comedy and music clubs in the mid-90s. They were recognized not just by their humor, but also by their significant musical prowess.
What makes Tenacious D unique is that besides writing songs that are meant to be funny, the songs are actually meant to be good. And that comes largely from the fact that Kyle and Jack are both pretty accomplished guitarists, and Jack in particular can really sing.
During their performances, Jack and Kyle parodied the self-indulgence and excess of heavy metal from the 1970s and 80s.
They will never let you forget how hard Tenacious D rocks. In fact, most of their songs are built around the idea that they're going to rock your socks off.
It would do no justice to try to attempt to describe Tenacious D and their power. Their gift is the gift of rock.
Although Jack acted like a rock star on stage, his offstage persona was different.
Jack's kind of a shy guy. He told me that when he's on stage, he gets really nervous, whether it's performing in front of a camera or on stage for a rock audience, and that nervousness is one of the things he channels into his show. Kyle's a lot more outgoing.
By 1995, Tenacious D was a fixture on the Los Angeles alternative comedy scene and at clubs like Largo.
It was a place for people who were almost outcasts of comedy, these alternative comics. Ben Stiller, Janeane Garofalo, I mean, huge names in comedy now. Of course, Tenacious D, this is where they would come to light.
The first time I saw Jack was performing actually with Kyle as Tenacious D at Largo. It was a really great guitar-driven rock ballad with no drums, no bass, no rhythm, just those two guys battling acoustic guitars.
Jack would make some very important connections through the LA comedy scene. The first was with a comic named Laura Keitlinger, a talented young writer and actress who had worked on Saturday Night Live.
Laura's arguably the funniest woman working in comedy. They're two great comedic minds, and you can just see them make each other laugh all the time.
Jack and Laura hit it off and began dating in 1997. Jack also met important business contacts through the LA comedy scene, like Bob Odenkirk and David Cross, the creators of HBO's Mr. Show with Bob and David.
Mr. Show is a sketch comedy show in the mid-90s on HBO that was created and starred David Cross and Bob Odenkirk, two really groundbreaking comedians. What separated Mr. Show from other sketch comedy shows like Saturday Night Live is that it was much darker, it was much more subversive, it was much more interested in pushing the envelope. And what David and Bob wound up doing was plucking all of the really great talent from the LA comedy scene.
Jack Black appeared in 4 Mr. Show episodes and stood out in musical sketches.
Directing Jack Black was always a pleasure because with Jack, basically it's like you say, some actors like driving a race car. You can just kind of give them little hints and they go where you want. With Jack, it's his car. You're not even in the car. You just tell him what's up ahead.
HBO executives were impressed by Jack's showing in Mr. Show and signed a deal with him and his musical partner, Kyle Gass.
We shot these shorts for HBO, which takes their songs and basically adds the story behind them and how the songs were created, but in the same comic tone as Mr. Show.
The HBO comedy series Tenacious D debuted on November 28, 1997.
And it brought to life the idea, the concept of this greatest band in the world. Not just the city or the world, Tenacious D.
Only 6 episodes would air over 4 years, but the HBO appearances helped Tenacious D attract a devout cult following.
The fan is definitely loyal. If you really like Tenacious D, you're going all out.
By 1999, Jack Black had a very loyal but very small fan base.
He was just playing bit parts in lousy movies and never really getting any kind of a break.
That is, until one famous fan helped Jack land a plum movie role.
Well, it was like, who is he? And suddenly, he was everywhere.